What has a partner done during intercourse that totally ruined it for you? Some years ago, my wife, in the middle of it all, out of nowhere, asked if I had moved the clothes from the washing machine to the dryer. Not my partner, but one time we were going at it and the neighbor's kid came out on the porch to play Hot Cross Buns badly on his recorder. Never has it been so hard to come. We had to call it. Back in college, we used to have a playlist that we listened to during intercourse. One time, he added songs in accidentally and we ended up listening to a techno version of the World 1 music to Super Mario Bros. And laughing too much to continue. Electronica versions of the songs from Mega Man came on after, killing the mood even more. All in all, it was still a fun day and we're married now, so it didn't kill intercourse forever. Lol. She told me it was her recently deceased father's bed. XGF would talk dirty during intercourse. Which is fine, but her dirty talk would get really detailed and outlandish and she'd ramble on and on. One time during one of her speaking in tongues episodes, she imagined we were in a fancy restaurant and I was eating her out under the table and she was describing how the food was tasting, the appetizers, the main course, the dessert, the wine in great, agonizing detail. Another, after watching a World Cup game, she told a story of me ravishing her at center line after scoring the game-winning goal. She described in painstaking detail the goal, I'm talking a couple of minutes, while we were hooking up, before she'd talk about any sexy stuff at all. In all honesty, I'd be inwardly laughing far more than I'd ever be turned on. Went back her place for a drink. We had a drink and she excused herself. She came back dressed to the nines. Black bra, panties, thigh highs, and heels. She climbed on top of me and worked her way down to giving me a blowjob. About 2 minutes into a pretty amazing act, she looked up at me and projectile vomited, hitting my face all the way down to my crotch. She basically told me to leave after that. Nothing like Ubering home wearing and smelling like vomit. We were having intercourse, literally in the middle of doing it, and he whispers in my ear, we gotta wash the car. I bled on his face while he was eating me out. To be fair, it was after I miscarried and my period was super erratic, but God, I never wanted to let him down there again. He's been back though. Boy's a trooper. I had went down on this random girl I met in her living room one night. She was having a bit of a party and I had told her about how my girlfriend had broken my heart, and she said she experimented when she was in the military but had never been with a woman who actually knew what she was doing. So with booze flowing, she pulled her pants off and I went to town. She started her period midway and was mortified. I had bloody fingers and she was crying, so I did the only thing I could think of and said, no no no. It's okay babe, blood doesn't bother me, and I kicked my fingers once. She felt better and I was too drunk to care. I consider it the cost of doing business in that vagina, they might bleed on you. Started talking about random subjects that had nothing to do with making love. Yes, I know we should fix that lawnmower soon. I don't care, love me goddammit. During a hand job one time, I had my right arm underneath this girl's butt, feeling her up, and she blasted me with this humongous fart that was so damn thunderous I instantly lost any ounce of heart I had. Passed out. One moment she is moaning and squirming, and the next moment she passed out. I obviously stopped and tried to wake her. After she woke up she told me I should have finished. She can faint when she gets too excited. I just couldn't. Despite her instance that it is normal for her and okay, my brain tells me it is not right to keep going on an unconscious person. Reached over my head to grab a box on his headboard amp, showed me the contents, a hypodermic needle amp, a tiny glass vial on a leather cord. Then he said he wanted to take my blood amp, wear it around his neck. When I told him that he wasn't inside me when he was fingering me, he decided to cross-examine my vagina like a gynecologist. Talk about awkward. I had a really intelligent, scholarly friend in college. He said that one time he had a girl spread her legs and literally propped up an anatomy textbook next to her to find all the parts. I mean, good thing he was cute. Getting your face farted at while eating butt is one thing. Having some chunky bits come along, that kinda killed it for me. Was hooking up with my ex, which wasn't an out of the ordinary thing at the time, when I'm deep in her and she mentions getting fucked in the parking lot where she works by her new guy mere hours prior. I kept going. I have no self-respect, neither does she. Went home with someone after bar close. In the middle of blowing him he says, wow. This is better than watching SpongeBob. I almost lost it. I had the hardest trying not to laugh the rest of the night. I was railing this metal chick about 25 years ago and Hallowed Be Thy Name came on and she started headbanging and singing along. Great song, but the interactive karaoke session wasn't needed. He called me mom. We don't have kids. Had a playlist of sexy music that abruptly cut to the damn Andy Griffith whistling theme. What the hell? Was titty fricking her? She looked down and said, "Ooh, it's just like a gif." It was hard to keep from laughing or take anything seriously after that. Not my partner but a one-night stand. I was in the middle of giving my tongue a clit workout when she let out a ripping fart. As a woman, that is honestly one of my biggest fears. She was probably mortified. Unless it was her kink, woman shrugging. The first time I went down on another girl, halfway through she yells, "Get out of there." Like a soldier who sees grenades, and half throws me to the side as she let one rip so hard. We were laughing so hard, lol. Talked about an ex and the sexiest thing the ex did. Said that was the most turned on he had ever been in his life. Glol, that is so awful. This is definitely the worst. 1. Getting annoyed and rude when I couldn't instantly get it up. Guys need foreplay too. Those kinds of girls are the worst. It's already embarrassing enough if you can't do it right away. This didn't ruin it for me at all. In fact, I thought it was quite funny and peculiar. I was eating her out while she was in all fours. She had an orgasm and accidentally farted right in front of my face. She was extremely embarrassed, but I laughed for about 10 minutes non-stop. Used to have pretty rough sex with my ex. I didn't mind his kinky antics at all, like ever. Besides this one time he choked me so hard that I literally lost consciousness. He panicked and called 911, so I woke up to a medic in my face while I was naked in bed. Oh sweet God. My ex and I were into BDSM and experimenting, but in this occasion we were just having sex in the shower. Literally pulled out and she weakly said, "I feel dizzy falling into me." I caught her, but then she went limp and we fell out the shower. Luckily neither of us hit the toilet. But I was 18 and still living at home, and my mom's a nurse. So my first thought was to throw a towel on her and on me and go grab my mom, haha. Can you make it bigger? Broke up with me. Mid-dicking? Yup. We were going at it and he stopped, looked at me and started rambling things like, "I have too much respect for you, I can't do this blah blah blah." So I'm like, are you really choosing to break up with me right now? You couldn't have done it before or after? Lol. Come to find out from his brother that he was fricking another girl and felt guilty. I asked her for a blowjob, since the hand job was not doing it for me. So she proceeds to lightly blow on the tip. I thought it was an inspired beginning, but she just literally blew on my member for the next couple of minutes. I stopped her and asked what she was doing. She said that it was a blowjob, so she was blowing on my little guy. It wasn't that crazy since there are boob jobs and hand jobs. Admittedly, she was equally skilled at all of the above, so there was no real best option available. I decided I would instruct her on how to give me a proper blowjob. After some direction, she finally put her mouth around it, and I thought everything was going well. She bobbed her head down then up, and proceeded to lacerate my Johnson with her teeth in multiple locations. I assumed that she would know to keep teeth away from sensitive areas, but I was sorely mistaken. I actually had to go to the ER that night because of the damage, but I will save that for a different post. That's it for today, Team Astro. Have you ever had any similar stories like this? If you have, please let us know down in the comments section. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos. Please consider liking and sharing this video and support us. Daily space facts before you leave. A full NASA spacesuit costs $12 million. If you're really rich, please buy me one.